2020 and 2021 have been such crazy years for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Dogecoin, and basically for the entire cryptocurrency network. And like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? What is Bitcoin? Why is it doing so well? And what do I think about it? So Bitcoin, I'm not going to talk about it in depth. This is by no means going to be like a go-to de facto like knowledge bank of cryptocurrency. But I have a video that I put out in the past. I can't remember what the video is called, but I have the blog post that is literally right up in front of me. It's called "I Explain Blockchain to My 6-Year-Old Brother," and I made an accompanying video for that back in April 20th, 2018, literally 3 years ago, as of last week. And yeah, I mean, what is it? Essentially, I'm not going to talk about blockchain entirely because there's quite a lot going on there. Cryptocurrency is like its own thing of it. But cryptocurrencies are just currencies that are crypto, that are mined online. They're all digital currencies, just effectively, that you generate using like math, the number, how many can you actually make. Bitcoin is one that's, for example, it's limited. There's a theoretical and an actual mathematical limit of like 21 million Bitcoins, I think. Other currencies are unlimited, like Dogecoin. You can just keep on making Dogecoin for as long as you want. They're all a bit interesting, but cryptocurrency essentially encompasses all of those digitally generated coins, currencies. Blockchain is the name of the technology. It's not the same thing. They are related, but blockchain is a technology that's like basically it's like adding blocks to a chain, and that's kind of like what Bitcoin is, why it's so exciting. It's a peer-to-peer network. It's decentralized. It's verifiable and unalterable. Basically, these are just like buzzwords. But if you think about it like a Lego tower, blockchain is like a Lego tower where you put that block in and like everyone around can see you put that block there, and then they put another block on top of it, and now you can't take the bottom block off. Everyone can see that new block on top of it, and you put another block, another block, another block, another block, another block, and you have this block chain, this chain of blocks, hence the name, that you can't, I mean technically in Lego terms you can just take out a brick and replace it, but in digital terms you can't alter them once they've been put there. The peer-to-peer network is defined by the fact that everyone's involved in this game at once. They can all see you building this Lego tower. And decentralized relates to the fact that you're all kind of playing as a network instead of just like one central bank that dishes out all the money. The Bank of England dish out all the money. It's like, no, everyone's got equal parity here to some extent, which varies a bit in terms of cryptocurrency, but that's what blockchain essentially is. It's a technology that just breaks down things into individual blocks. And yeah, the network has all the power, etc., etc. So now let's talk about Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin so important? Bitcoin, the reason why Bitcoin people care about that more than the other cryptocurrencies is because Bitcoin is fundamentally based on this blockchain principle. Most of them also are, to be fair, but Bitcoin's a bit different, where it's like there's like as I said, there's like a physical limit of like 21 million or 21. I think it's 21 million. They've solved this issue of like the double. I forgot what it's called now. But essentially, like there are ways you can like trick computers to like see like, okay, you spent this. You have this one coin. You can spend it here and then spend it there. Spend it there. The double spend problem that it was hard to solve. Bitcoin kind of solved that. So once you spend this coin, the peer-to-peer network, once you put the block down the Lego tower, everyone sees it's there. You can't just put it on this tower as well. And there are a lot of things that Bitcoin does well from a technological standpoint, which is why it's so impressive. It's why people put so much money into it. But it's like, why? Why? So let me explain from my perspective. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to be super technical here. This is a very much like a high level, surface level analysis of what Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency is, and then my thoughts on it from an investor standpoint. Don't take this as like a de facto guide to Bitcoin or nothing like that. It's not financial advice. It's not even super low level. Again, it's very high level, very surface level. But yeah, let's talk about what is going on in the scene. Now, what I think is going on, and the reason why I didn't really want to talk about it as much is because again, what I think is going on is that as the dollar and general fiat money is again like stuff that's like dollars, pounds, based on the actual traditional currency. The less people trust these centralized networks, these banks, the weaker the dollar gets, the weaker the pound gets. These people that, if they're not trusting, forex as much, if not trusting foreign exchange, typical currencies, what's the alternative? The alternative at the moment is cryptocurrency. That's kind of what it looks like for me. Again, not financial advice, but it looks like as the dollar goes down, Bitcoin seems to go up. As the stock market comes down again, Bitcoin seems to go up because people just put more trust into that sector. And I don't like that. I don't like the uncertainty. I don't understand forex enough. I don't understand currencies enough Obviously, you see things like stimulus as a literal effect on the stock market. You can observe that in real time. But I don't like not being able to observe what's going on and not be in the loop. I want to know exactly what's going on to some extent, obviously. But I generally, and I think this is increasingly becoming the case, that people generally believe in cryptocurrencies. People generally believe that at some point we're going to want the control back from the banks. Like it's a bit annoying when you think about traditional currency. When you spend money at a shop, right? You have, I haven't got any cash near me, but you have set amount of money. You spend it at a shop. But how does everyone know this money's been spent? Are you just saying that? Are the shop just saying that? That's where the middleman comes in. That's where the bank comes in. So now you spend this money. You put in like a request to spend £5 from your credit card account. This request goes to the bank. The account verifies the money is in your account, and then the money goes from the bank to the person. But these banks are all regulated by regulatory bodies, and that centralization is what makes this currency, digital. It makes fiat currency work because the banks are in control. They know what's going on, and that makes sure there's no like fraud, none of this nonsense going on. Even though there are still fringe cases of fraud, it's not blanket solution. But that's kind of why banks exist. The problem here is that you might think you're paying £4.50 for this product, but you're really paying like £3.50, and the banks are taking an additional £1 for their services. Or this shop might in the past have been selling it for like 50p for like a Freddo bar, but now because if you're paying by card, the banks now we've got to take a 2% charge. So now like, all right, cool, they're going to higher the prices, and that that's bad for the consumer. And a lot of these problems are circumvented when you have a peer-to-peer network. You no longer need to have a middleman. You no longer need to have a bank saying, "Oh, we're going to charge you some, an transaction fee for this." Now it's like, no way. If I pay for this, the whole Bitcoin network, the whole crypto network can see what I'm doing. You don't need to verify it. We don't need your protection. We don't need your centralization. And that's why I think a lot of people kind of look at crypto and be like, "Oh, this makes a lot more sense. It's cheaper. It's way more efficient." It uses a lot of power, which is something that we've got to fix, something that we've got to talk about in the future. I don't know the technical details about it, but I understand that crypto mining is very, very energy intensive. It's not the greatest for the environment. I mean, obviously, as tech evolves, as GPUs and CPUs get more efficient and more powerful, they can make as many cryptos with less power, or just make more for the same amount or whatever. But it's like, that is a pressing problem, but that's like one of few problems that cryptocurrencies have. And when you contrast that with fiat money, it's like it seems like a no-brainer. Why am I paying 10% transaction fees at this stupid bank just to like observe what I'm doing when I could just pay for it in crypto? No one needs to observe it because it's a peer-to-peer network again, and Bob's your uncle. But yeah, I kind of trust in it, but again, I don't think I know enough to give like a proper comprehensive video on this topic, so I'm kind of just giving like a bunch of random thoughts that are in my mind. It maybe make a conversation about this, but yeah, it is interesting to say the least. Like I am fundamentally interested in it. I've referenced this. Let me take a screenshot of this and show it to you guys on the screen. But I've referenced this article. I was playing blockchain with my 6-year-old brother. I thought it was 5-year-old brother, but 6-year-old brother. 3 years ago, 3 years ago, and I've been invested in the scene ever since. But I can't invest, man. I can't invest. The problem with investing in it now is that one, I think it's going to dip, and I'm going to be so annoyed at myself if I buy it now and it dips like tomorrow. So I'm going to wait until like the end of the year. Once the economy starts to open up and the dollar starts to do better, the pound starts to do better, fiat currency, people are going out more, etc., etc. I assume that crypto in general, not just Bitcoin, but the entire crypto market, I think is going to crash throughout the course of this year. So I'm holding out for that. I was literally just about to schedule this upload, and then I saw the news, China bans Bitcoin. Like, it's crazy. The whole crypto market is just dropped in price right now. It's currently, well, I can't check, my phone's in my hand, but it's currently like 30 grand or something, 32 grand from like 50. Literally must be like a 30% drop. Like, it's crazy, the stuff that's gone on today. I'm going to keep a close eye on it, but I'm not going to explain that at length. It's not really my remit. But obviously going forward into this video, you're going to see my skepticism about it, and this is obviously one massive indicator as to like what some of the threats are. I recorded this video back in April 26th, I think. So in the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen Elon Musk say it's too energy intensive, and they've taken out of, you can no longer buy Tesla cars with Bitcoin. Of course, this China, all cryptocurrencies are affected by this. So it's very, very interesting. And as I say, this sort of volatility, not so much the uncertainty, but the volatility. So mad. But But, and this is important, because I wasn't going to buy in, but now that I've seen this massive dip, I can't not. I can't not. I'm not going to put much in. It'll be like £5 a month for the next, like, a week, sorry, for the next couple of weeks. You know, the dollar cost average. But crazy scenes, crazy scenes. Anyway, yeah, I'll get back to the video. But I also think that it's just so volatile. And people kind of inflate the two terms. Like, volatility doesn't necessarily mean uncertainty. Uncertainty means you don't know if it's going to go up or down. Volatility means that it goes up a lot and down a lot. It's not the same. I don't think there's much uncertainty about crypto. I think crypto is generally going to keep going up. I think it generally is going to keep catching more eyes. More and more institutions are going to buy into it. More and more people are going to start trusting in it. But it's still volatile, so going up and down a lot, even though the general theme is upwards. I just don't want that volatility. I don't want volatility right now. I think what will happen is, as volatility comes down, the price will go up, or vice versa. Like, as it continues getting more expensive, it will become less volatile until it gets to a point where people understand the actual price of it. Like, I think what's going on now is, like, the actual price is somewhere between the peak and the trough at any given time, like a 3-month span. But I think it gets to a point where people believe in it a lot, and it goes up over the actual price. And people are like, oh, nah, it's overpriced. And it comes down. Then people exaggerate that again. It goes too far down. And then it's like, oh, okay, now maybe it's worth a bit more. People start buying and hype. And that's why I think, that's where the volatility I think comes from, because people just, is too reactionary at the moment. There are a lot of stocks where, for example, PepsiCo, for example, it's not, people kind of get it. It's like, it's Pepsi, it's been around for a while, you know, I'll buy it if I want high dividends, otherwise, like, maybe I'll go somewhere else. But it's like, it's pretty safe, you kind of know what's going on. With crypto, again, you don't really know what's going on. At any given point, any government can be like, you know what, we're banning this. Or vice versa. At any other point, a government can be like, you know what, now you can pay for your rent. I think Miami did it recently, or Florida. We're like, yeah, you can now pay for your rent in crypto if you want. And positive news like that will just increase the value exponentially. And then inversely, you have negative news, where I think, was it China or India? Well, like some Asian economy, I think, not banned it, but it's expressed skepticism of cryptocurrency, and then you see a big dip at the same time, and it's like, it's just so volatile. I'm not uncertain. I'm pretty confident. This, again, not financial advice. Don't go and buy it based on what I say. But I genuinely think Bitcoin is going to keep going up. I think all cryptocurrencies keep going up. I genuinely think, like, Coinbase. If I go on to Nasdaq Coin, so Coinbase, as the ticker COIN, coin, is currently worth $295.26. I think that's way below what it's worth. I mean, it IPO'd at like 330, I think. It must have peaked at about 340, 400 or something. And now it's down to 296. Like, I genuinely think in the long run, Coinbase is a steal. You know, I might even buy it now. But it's a thing where, again, it's just so much volatility. And me being me, I cannot afford, in my head, I can't afford to invest in something and potentially see a 30% dip tomorrow. Or again, I appreciate the highs, the 30% highs. I like that. I like the potential of it, but it's the risk that gets to me. I don't have money that I can afford to just throw away in the short term, and I can't ride out the lows of Bitcoin because I have no idea when it's going to reach that true value. Even though I believe in it a lot, the reason why I'm not invested, the reason why I'm not too clued up at the moment, speaks more about my financial situation than about my my confidence in crypto as a currency, or as a hold of value. I don't actually know how people categorize cryptocurrency. It's not really a currency yet because you can't really buy anything with it. It's also not really a store of value like gold because it's just so volatile. Generally, stores of value, literally store value. They don't fluctuate too much. So yeah, that's interesting. I actually don't know. I think it must just be its own thing, cryptocurrency. But yeah, for me, way too much volatility. Not so much uncertainty, but definitely the volatility is a bit strange for me. Again, I do believe in it. I do think if you do have money to put in it, maybe like 1% of your portfolio you could put into cryptocurrency because of the risk. But yeah, that's essentially it. Again, I guess my closing thoughts, because I did say I don't want it to be too technical or too like investor heavy, but my closing thoughts is that I do think it's going to continue to drop this year. I do genuinely think that this year and last year, like when we saw these astronomical rises in these currencies, that coincided with our lack of trust in the government and the banks, and you see the dollars coming down, pounds coming down, etc. But what I think, as the world opens up, as lockdowns come to an end, as vaccines continue to show positive signs throughout the world, I can see these currencies slowly coming up. As long as inflation doesn't come up too much as well, I see these currencies getting better. And inversely, I imagine crypto, will just come straight back down. Not to crash. I don't think it's going to crash per se. I think if I type in BTC to USD, which is currently 53 grand. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it peaked in the last month. 2 weeks ago it was like 62,000, and then last week it was like 49,000. So it has dipped. It has. You can argue that it's a crash, like a 33% crash or something. But yeah, no, I cannot afford to ride that. Are you crazy? But yeah, I mean, yeah, I do foresee a dip. I don't know much. Again, I'm by no means an expert, but I see. I'm not overly optimistic about Bitcoin right now. But yeah, Coinbase. I think the difference between Coinbase and like individual currencies is that Coinbase encompasses every single currency. If crypto does well, Coinbase does well. If crypto does bad, Coinbase is bad. My only problem with it, and the only reason why I didn't buy it on IPO day, is because I feel like Coinbase is so heavily weighted on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, I imagine like 50% of their profits come from Bitcoin. I imagine like 15 to 20% of their profits come from Ethereum because they're just so big relative to the others. And because of that, I'm basically just buying some Bitcoin and some Ethereum at this point if I buy Coinbase. I do want to wait until other currencies not necessarily balance it out, but at least become a bit more prominent. That way I'm banking on the success of multiple currencies, or at least a cryptocurrency as an entire sector, instead of just those two coins. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to get in at some point. I mean, it's gone down now to 295.13. Today's the 29th of April. What was the lowest point today was 293. So like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to get in soon. and I recommend someone look into it. I'm not recommending you buy it because you have to do your own research, but I recommend you look into it. I think crypto is a very exciting space. And again, the only thing that's holding me back is a lack of financial freedom in my own pocket. Otherwise, I'd be right there. And yeah, those are kind of my thoughts basically. If you do want to read my article about explaining blockchain to my 6-year-old brother, I'll put a link down below in the description. Let me just copy this from my own memory. There is a video somewhere as well on my channel, which is basically just me explaining this. I'm basically just reading through this. So if you do want to watch that as well, I'll put that up in the iCards. Feel free to check that one out. I'd really appreciate all the views, all the love, the likes, comments, dislikes, not dislikes as much, subscribers. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I can go on all day. I did try to give like a surface level, but a comprehensive analysis of that. Like, I tried to give you as much research points as possible with as much information as I can within the time frame. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm by no means the guy to go to about it. A lot of what I've read and heard, I mean, I read a lot just online in general, but like one of my most easy to recommend sources of crypto information would be Andre Jik. Not a crypto channel, investor channel, but he does have a lot of content about cryptocurrency, which I think is pretty cool and pretty useful for people to check out. So I'll put his link to his channel or whatever in the description below, or maybe in the end cards and like the icon. I'll put it. It will be around somewhere. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's it from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know I said I was gonna take a break after doing those internship game videos, but this is, I guess, gonna pave the way between my like exam period. So maybe I still will take a break, maybe not. But yeah, that's it for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.